All right, let me get you set up here where you'll stay. There. All right, I put a little bit of video up last night with the truck. My son, we come out, we gapped the plugs and put them in it, put the plug wires on, adjusted the driver's turbo, did a few things, little things here and there that we needed to do. And a little high dollar part was laying on the floor. My kid must have knocked it off. And I went ahead and posted it. There was about 50 minutes worth of video there, but some reason it broke it down to a 15 minute and like a 31 minute or some video. So I put the shorter one up because the first one was really boring. What we're going to do for a carburetor is I've talked to Kevin at CSU, but I also already own a Quick Fuel brand new Black Diamond Edition $1,169 carburetor. It's blow through, it's an 850. This carburetor comes with a 4.5 power valve in it. Now, I'm new to turbos or blow through period. But I know guys that have run them and had good luck with them. We're only going to run 10 or 12 pounds, probably closer to 10 pounds. A boost on this, I'm not going to go crazy with it. The engine makes well beyond 600 as it is. So we're going to do something different. I ordered 2 boost reference power valves from a guy out of Australia. I've also got a whole box of them in there, new ones, everything from a 2.5, which we may try a 2.5 in it and see how that works to get the fuel curve right. Or we may play with these boost reference ones when they get here. They probably won't be here closer till the end of the month because they're coming out of Australia and you got COVID and all the stupid shit going on. But I've got a whole box of them in there new that I bought and I've had for a while. I've got 2 or 3 jet kits, so we can play with the jets. But I don't think jetting it to get AFRs and stuff where you want, I don't think this is a whole part of the tuning issue. It's going to be more than that. Tuning a carburetor for nitrous or NA, I can do in my sleep, but this blow-through stuff's new to me. So we're going to try these. I got 2 of them. I got little tubes that come with them so you can put extensions on them. But we're going to see what they do. And the thing is, nothing against Kevin or CSU, and I may end up buying the carburetor from him. He quoted me a price which is a little bit more than what I paid for the one I've already got. But I wanted the black carburetor. I know a lot of guys don't care what it looks like, but I do. Like I said, I'm not trying to set the world on fire. I'm not trying to make 2,000 horsepower here. My goal originally with this whole thing was 1,000 horsepower. I wanted 4 digits. We'll be at that. That ain't going to be a problem. After talking with Kevin with his carburetor, he told me what I could do and what I can't do. And he said something about 1,300 horsepower. So with the setup I got, but 1,000's our goal. Right now, all I'm waiting on is AFR gauge, a boost gauge, some more inline and some fittings, and I think that's about it. We're going to run a 6 BTM box. The fuel pump, I think I've said before, was a Magna Fuel, was it Ultra or whatever, 500 pump. The regulator is an Aeromotive 13301 boost reference regulator. We're going to feed it with a -10 line. I'm going to do probably a -8 return. And then we'll do 2 -8 lines coming out of the regulator to the carburetor, one feeding each bolt. So we're going to see how this works. I've never used Aeromotive stuff before. I know it's good stuff. I've always used Magna Fuel stuff in years prior and had good luck with it. They do have an issue with, you do have problems with the pumps leaking and have to fix them from time to time. Hopefully, I think in the last 4 or 5 years they may have fixed that problem. I don't know. But we're going to see what it does. And I know a few people have seen the old 600 vacuum secondary sitting up around it. That's not the carburetor that's going on it. The one that's going on it is a Quick Fuel 850 BAN and your blow through. It's the Black Diamond Edition. High dollar damn carburetor. I think I probably spent more in the last year in carburetors than I care to think. So, see, I bought an 850 quick fuel, two 750s, and now this one. So, quite a bit of money in carburetors. But it's alright. I got my money back out of the tunnel ram setup. Actually, I made money on that deal. And then the 850s on the Weiss El Camino that I bought and had on this for just a short period of time when it was NA. But the fuel's going to be VP MS109, the same thing I've been running in it. I've talked to them. They say I should be good for what we're doing. Kevin didn't care much for the oxygenated fuel, but I like it. It burns clean. You can pour more fuel to it than you can. I can pour a ton more of that to it than I can when we had a little bit of pump gas in at 93. It didn't care for it. With that tunnel ram, it didn't like it. It wanted to belch black smoke and act like it was running pig rich. Dump that 109 in here that's oxygenated, and you could just pour the fuel to it. The plugs were like night and day difference when you look at them. Timing wise, I'm probably going to start out at 36, and on 10 pounds we'll pull 10 degrees out and drop it back to 26. I'm going to be real conservative on everything in the beginning. I'm going to take the distributor out because, again, I don't know if I have to lock it out at 36 degrees or change the advanced curve in it. That's new. I've got to read up on that. But I have a complete kit for the distributor I bought. I had one and I lost all the parts. But I got a new spring kit and the little collars that go in there to change your advanced curve from short to long. But we get it fired up. I put some MSD timing tape on that balancer because it's steel and it's clear coated and it's hard to read. With all them AN lines down in there, as you can see in other videos, it's a nightmare trying to even get a timing light to even hit the damn balancer. So we got the timing tape on it where I can see it. We got it rolled up. I stabbed the distributor in it at about 8 to 10 degrees before, so it'll fire right up like it did the first time. I'll set the total timing on it, like I said, at 36 degrees. I'll lock the distributor down. We'll see where the initial's at because this thing idles at about 1,000 with the cam that's in it. You try to get it down lower than that, it don't like it. And the cam's not super monstrous, you know. It's a 297 308 duration. It's a 114 plus 4 lobe separation. It has been degreed in. And the lift on it is actually, I went back and looked, lift is just over 700. So it's a big hydraulic roller, but it's not a monster. I've seen bigger solid rollers than that, but for a hydraulic, it's pretty good sized. You know, converter, the cam, everything, the transmission, the rear end gear, it's got a 350 gear in it. And this thing with a 350 gear just running on a motor was a monster. Monster compared to the old setup. And it had a 410 in it with the old setup. But I'm going to put that 410 8.8 probably under that Blazer over there. But we pretty much got everything plumbed up. I got to get the exhaust done on it, the wastegate exhaust, which I'm deciding whether I'm going to just run like a screamer pipe per se, or if I'm going to run it under the turbo and bring it back and dump it into the actual exhaust pipe. I'll probably just run them down and turn them out in front of the front wheels and say the hell with it. But as far as getting it finished up, we're just waiting on fittings. We're going to put those coolers in there. I'm going to run a little, like 2.5 gallon water box. We can put ice water or whatever in, a little Mazir electric water pump. Reuse my 6 AN lines from the fuel lines and bring them up here, run it through those and then back. Like I say, we'll put some of that VP cold shit in there or something to keep the temperature down, and if it don't work, I'll take it all back off. If it does work, then fine. We're not planning on racing the truck. So unless I get the little tickle or wild hair and decide I want to do it, but I'm not going to beat on it. I have rules that I've set for myself from the very first one I put together. If it will not make power at a certain RPM, tear the sumbitch down and fix it where it will. There's no need to scream one of these to the ceiling. There's no need to rev its fucking brains out. If a big block won't make power at 6,200, then tear the sumbitch apart and fix it, because something's not right. But I know what this made before we brought the motor home at the flywheel, and it was scary. It was scary. For what it is, it was scary horsepower. So it's somewhere in the high sevens at the flywheel. So I'll just let you, I'll let you in on that part of it. Out of 509 cubic inches, I think that's doing pretty damn good. You know, shit, you got to go to Blueprint or somebody and go 540 or bigger to get that kind of horsepower. But there's it all pump gas friendly shit too. That's it. As long as I can still keep it cool with the radiator and the cooling system I set up on it, which I don't think I have a problem, because I could fire it up and drive around the block without even turning the water pump on and cob on it all the way around the block, and it would barely be to 160. So, and that's not even turning the fans or nothing on. That's just running the water pump. So, we'll see. I'm almost betting I'm probably going to have some V-band leaks. Nothing's going to go perfect. But we're going to fire it up the first time, let it idle, make sure everything's good with the motor, rockers adjusting, the lifter noise, let it come up to temperature, make sure nothing's leaking anywhere before we ever put the charge pipes or anything on it. Blow through carburetor, it should idle, sit here and idle. If you try to drive it without the charge pipes, it's going to go pig rich and probably flood the motor out, but just sitting there idling, it should be fine. And then we'll hook the charge pipes up, we'll get the timing and everything set, and then just start creeping up on a number. So, and get it where we want. But there it is in all its glory. These turbos are clocked just a little forward because I have a 90 coming out of the bottom of them into a 45 to get the drains up high enough so I ain't gonna worry about the front tires hitting them if I hit a big bump or something. Especially now that I lowered this turbo down about an inch. That's why the heat cover's off of it. And I VHT'd these and baked the shit out of it. Put 4 coats on and baked every coat in between each coat. So we'll see how long that lasts. I've had it stay on headers, and I've had it come off of headers. So it's a 50-50 like crapshoot. I'm not going to rewrap any of this with heat wrap unless it poses a problem. I am so tired of getting tore up with that shit. And that DEI titanium stuff will itch the shit out of you. They're bullshit. It itches just like anything else. The $8 for 50-foot roll is no less. It ain't no less itchier than that stuff, I should say. The only other thing I'm worried about is maybe the 3/4 inch spacers between the head and the header. If it starts leaking, I'll try an aluminum soft, like dead blow gasket. If it still leaks then, I got copper in there and I siliconed them too and tightened the shit out of them. Because I've got studs going into the heads and then I got nuts on the outside. So I'm cranking on the nut on the threads rather than cranking on the threads inside the head. But we'll just see if they leak, then we'll have to figure something else out, which will probably most likely mean I'll have to change valve covers, run a set of those Eddie Marine valve covers that are cut on the corner so I can take the spacer out and move the header in, which then means rerouting both wastegates because this one will be into the radiator neck and that one will be into the damn alternator again. So, and that's why these little elbows I made are in here that I made just a little bit of an angle to kick the turbo out so we could make this happen this time. Hopefully all goes well. We don't have no issues. We don't have no over oiling or any kind of bullshit. So get the bugs out of it, play with it, and then maybe this summer I can take it out and raise hell with it. like I said, this is my therapy. This and my grandson. And when he gets on my nerves, I still got this. But he loves his truck to death. He'll come out here and sit in this damn thing for hours in there playing with it, driving, making motor noises and everything else. And if I get it out, he's got to get in it. Then when we get this one dialed in, we're going to start building one for the boy, but I think he's going to do a small block. Small block or an LS. I told him he'd be money ahead to build an LS. I don't care for LS engines. I'm LS to death, but they have a pretty good bulletproof bottom end in them. And they're a dime a dozen. You can buy them here for like $250 at the pick and pull all day long. So I'm gonna end it at that. I'm gonna go back inside. Daughter's getting ready to go to work, so I gotta sit here with the grandson. But yeah, probably this weekend. Today's Tuesday. Probably this weekend I'll have more video of us out here getting the ignition box on, the fuel pump on, getting the carburetor on, and I'm waiting on some line from Vibrant. Of course, nobody shipped shit till yesterday, and it was ordered like back on the 28th and 29th, but UPS, nobody worked the 31st either, so then you had the weekend, yeah. But a bunch of shit's supposed to be here Wednesday and Thursday, so hopefully this weekend we can get out here and get it finished up and actually get it to make noise again. So anyway, I'm going to end the video there. I appreciate everybody that subbed to me. I can't believe I'm like 980, I think it said today. I'm just blown away that many people even care to look at this damn thing. But, you know, I wanted to prove a point. I did it 4-wheel drive. I did it 2-wheel drive. Very simple, cheap way of doing it, making things work. And literally the only thing that we cut up on this truck was notched the cross member for that big ass pan that's on it, Melodon pan this time. And where the heater box went, I flattened that out and welded the piece on the inside into it to give me more room on that side so I can get my dipstick tube down through there and work on it. It is easier to work on this than it ever was with a 4.3 in it. I'm serious. So, well, that's all for now. Everybody stay safe. God bless, and hopefully we'll have more for you this weekend and we'll get to hear it run again. And turbos howl and all that good shit. Later.